Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Due to the time differences, as always, music is a good sensor for the mind, body, and soul. And any dance is a dance. You know what I'm saying? Yep. No dance will kill her. So let me play. I'm presenting. Brother Queen. Thank you, Brother Queen. I'm going to say, yes, I'm a madam. Sister Yisha, near you feel me today? I'm a failure. This time by generator. It's a pama sam. I'm back. It's Johnny Amaniam. Daddy don't see. Yes, my boy. She bravo boy. Oh, yes, anymore. Hey, oh, Daddy don't see. The madam. Masua Mayam. Hey, Obama. Hi, mommy. Mrs. Amames. Yes, anymore. Oh, Daddy don't see. Yes, my boy. That? Oh, see me say, oh, don't me. Oh, touch me say, oh, don't me. Oh, show me say, oh, don't me. Nothing now. Why you stand by your right? Oh, see me say, oh, don't me. Oh, can you say, oh, don't me. Oh, shall I say, oh, don't me. I don't know. Why you mean pass. Remove your bye. Welcome everybody. Oh, I see. Go get some rest. Let me just invite some families and friends. Well, hey, Potentially. Hey. I need to send this to my baby. Yes, what are we doing? Yes, my brother. Hey, you're the kind of you want to. Yes, oh, that's it. What are we doing? I don't understand people. Hey, yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. Hey, you're the kind of you want to. Yes, my brother.
watching me say, look at don't me. I understand back and what did you ever meet and know? Won't come right to this room. One more day, I'm going to make it go roughly. What did you ever meet and know? Won't come right to this room. One more day, I'm going to make it go roughly. Oh, Gigi, I'm going to
No thanks for killer. Music is a good entry for the mind, body, and soul. Today, Mr. Lee Patterson. Mr. Lee, let me send you the link because I need you to come in for this one today. Oh. Hey. You guys just give me 1 minute. Let me send the link. Hi, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone is doing well by the grace. Today is going to be the men's day, for all the men. Uh-huh. I have a lot of questions, and sometimes we have different people asking the same question in different ways, and you be like, you trying to give your best response, but then they will come back the next day and ask the same question, but they put it in another context, and I'll be like, you asked this of me yesterday, so what else can I do to very much connect with more than one person asking, more people asking the same questions, but they put it in a different context, like thinking, okay, she's not going to catch up with that. I have a lot of, I should say, some married men who keeps asking the same question over and over. So I told them, some of the men, a lot of people think that men don't like to talk. They do talk, when they are given the opportunity to do so. But some of them are not able to do that with their own wives. Oh, Mr. Lee, you don't disappoint. Hi, Mr. Lee.
Hey, hi, Sister Love. How you doing?
Saya Aturenyo Dende. How are you? Mr. Lee.
Yo, how you doing, sister?
I can't hear. Okay, hold on. Wait. It's coming from my side. How you doing, Mr. Lee?
I'm good. You hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you clear now.
Right.
Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to have you on today. And today, all day with the topic, I'm just loving it so much today.
It's my real pleasure to be here today because it's been quite a long time that I never had a chance to be right here with you.
That's right, Mr. Lee.
But times at work, I cannot be listening to programs and I was enjoying it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm happy to be here today, and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is to everybody on the platform.
Amen to that. I know. And we welcome everybody. If I have not acknowledged you, oh, Sister Yato already put it here, Mr. Lee. Yeah. Mr. Lee.
Hey, sister.
Mr. Lee, guy. And that's the swag man right there. When I see Mr. Lee, I just get overjoyed because he is someone that he can really hold a conversation or a discussion, have
That's
a
right.
dialogue, and
Like
break
that.
things down and give you explicit details. So it's my excitement. I have a reason for that because Mr. Lee, we have been talking for almost 2 years now, right? We've been friends.
More than that. You lose touch with it.
You see, you're right. It's been more. It's almost three and a half years now.
Three and a half, going to 4
You
now.
see, it's been a while. Oh my goodness gracious! So, Mr. Lee,
Yo,
today's topic, is basically going to be a discussion regarding wives.
okay.
Because we have some wives, some men who pretty much send me text messages on messengers, and those who has my WhatsApp number, send me some stuff on the WhatsApp number. Some of them, they reach out to me via phone, ask certain questions, even though they put it in a different context, but I feel like they're going through the same thing, right? So I was like, let me just do a program regarding this matter and see what else other people will get out of it, or what other information other, friends, family, viewers can also contribute to help some of our men who are really struggling in their marriages. Angel T, welcome. So the question that kept coming up is, why do some wives reject their husband's sexual desires in their marital beds. Um, and and we're gonna talk in terms of, like we can go whichever way, because there are some instances that you have some men who will make sexual advances at their wives and they will reject them completely. And then,
Okay.
yes, and then we have some um, men who, they don't have to, like, the wives will have an idea what their husband is seeking for, but
Mhm.
they choose to not oblige.
Okay.
Yes.
So, do you want me to come on in now?
Oh, yes, you can come on in from whichever direction. So, I mean, you a man, so
Yeah.
maybe you have some insight that you can give some of us wives or women who have no clue as to what you guys think up here, and some of the instances that really
Mm.
like turn you guys off, or really get you guys to look elsewhere.
Right. Right. Okay. We're gonna set the ball rolling right now, and I hope every brother listening to me today is gonna pick out something,
Hmm.
because day by day, as we grow older, maturity creeps in, right? And
Yeah.
we start learning a whole lot of new things.
Yes.
Like everybody says all the time, education is always right in front of us to learn something.
That's right.
It never stops until where you got buried 6 feet down under. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of us think like once you grown, finish your education, call it whatever, university level, whatever, education is finished. No, education still goes on. It
That's
comes in
right.
like tentacles of an octopus. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as long as octopus get a whole lot of tentacles, this is what that education prime time is.
Mm. Mm.
We never stop learning, or it never ceases coming.
The only time we stop learning is when we no longer in this world.
That's right. When we're going 6 feet under,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
each and every day is a school time for both the man and the woman.
Mm. Wow.
But this specific kind of question goes on one section of the whole section of things, right?
Yes.
It's about women refusing. There's other part, that kind of sweet sort of thing in bed.
That's right.
Mm.
You got it, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, Sister Love, you know what? Sometimes I always say this. If any other man is listening to me and would try to pick a little bit of advice, I've been around, and in my plus years that I lived, God opened my eyes a little bit earlier
Mm.
to learn and see what it is the word is. Because I have rolled around.
Wow.
I have rolled around high seas, different countries, different women, checking out to see what's up with this kind of country woman, what's that with other women in another country. You understand? And the reason is you come to know that a woman is like a book that
Mhm.
as a man, you never finish reading it.
Yeah.
You keep reading, reading, reading. You never finish that school of reading to get the certification of reading.
Mm-hmm.
Different things come all the time.
Yeah.
It's only when as a man you open your eyes, open your brain,
That's right.
start to observe, start to ask questions,
And to
amicable questions,
behave yourself.
amicable questions, not harsh questions,
Yeah.
because you're dissatisfied with something, or something just happened and you're not comfortable with it. A whole lot of things happen. Now, a man, you're talking about going to a woman, your own wife or girlfriend or whatever, in bed, and she refuses. Wow. when a woman refuses a man,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think as
Yeah.
reasonable the man got to do? What do you think before I continue?
What do I think a man got to do?
Yeah, because he's been refused.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the man have to do before I continue?
Well, the one thing that pops in my head that
Mhm.
works in every angle is
Mhm.
to have a dialogue
Cool.
with
Now, the dialogue is about not that same time that you have been refused.
no, like you have to like I mean, there are other options, at the moment of like the need or the desire, if it's not being met, sometimes they may end up doing something totally out of norm and it can escalate things. So they can walk away, right?
They-
Take some time away.
right. Okay, walking away means you don't need to be angry
Mm-hmm.
that have made you to walk away.
That's right.
It's only when the understanding,
Yeah.
when that mutual understanding
Mm-hmm.
have prevailed in the relationship,
No, correct.
the man will be able to walk away and come back and ask the question another time. You understand? But
Yes.
most of the times, that act of understanding does not prevail.
No, correct. Some focus are welcome.
Anger is always the first thing that comes into the man's heart because the testosterone in the man,
Yeah,
when jacked up, he becomes a monster.
that's right.
This is how the Almighty God created the man. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And if you could watch the dogs, probably in Americas, in the Europes, and every place out like Europe, you don't see whole lot of dogs communing, but back home in the motherland, dogs commune. And the dogs don't cross each other only when ovulation time comes around.
That's right.
And if you could see the male and his actions, why he want to do something, you will see what I'm saying in a human being. We talk about a man.
That's right, brother Brown. If you sound loud, don't worry, I took him off.
The adrenaline, the power, because the message being sent right into the system in the head,
Mm-hmm.
and the system has just activated something in the rubulator,
That's
makes
right.
it like the drive has come to settle right on the area where the rubulator is. It's hot. It needs to enter its cavity. You understand?
Aye.
Why is she stopping me to do my thing? And like the Bible says, a woman needs to submit to the man. So anytime man comes, a man says, I want something, a woman have to succumb. You understand?
No,
But
correct.
do you ask yourself a question?
Hmm.
What
That's
is holding my woman
Mm-hmm.
not to give me that sweeter part of a cake?
Yeah. Samra, that's the topic right there. Sorry, Mr. Lee. Go ahead.
Right. No. You see, the thing is, women have problems as well as men have problems.
That's right. Yes.
Being a man, I am one of them. You understand? So, viewpoint of experience, I'm talking. It's not about he said, she said, or whether he say. No, it's
Yeah.
my opinion, and every man will have their opinion. But what I'm saying is, on this particular issue, we all men have the same kind of opinion. When we want to do it, we want to do it. If you don't give me, I get angry. If you don't give me, sometimes I'm going to force you out into it. You understand?
Oh boy, Mr. Lee, you
Yo,
hitting some great point. Sister Yasabra already put a question up because, like, which
what did
I
you say?
knew was coming, right? Because maybe I boss water. But see, again, why is the men being refused? Mr. Lee, you have your headset?
let me try get mine.
Okay. While Mr. Lee's getting his headset, I'm going to like read some. Since I asked about, we will ask your question and we will answer your question. Right. Brother Brian from Paul, welcome. Hey, for Samuel Apostle, welcome. So when you're about to here, you have to put some thoughts here too. We'll come back to Sister Aya's question because we're gonna answer that question. Sister Aisha.
Yes, Sister Love, do you hear me? I put on
Yes.
the earpiece.
Yes, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you sound and clear.
Wonderful. So Sister Ayatollah is asking, why was he refused? Okay, so Saya, like the topic came about, it's not just one husband being refused. A couple of them, wives are refusing them. Some of them are being done spitefully, intentionally. Like it's like a way to just it's like putting a needle in. You put a needle in something, and you take a screwdriver and you keep turning it because the women are like now making more money than the men. So there are a lot of factors around it. Some of them are being refused because they did go outside their marital home. They had mistresses, and some of them, their mistresses have the goals to call the wife and stuff like that. And then others, they being faithful to their wives, but the wives is like, just turn them down each time. It's like they no longer sexually, like emotionally connected to their husband. But I have some of my questions alone. So there are a lot of factors. So many of them, some of them have no idea why the wife is refusing them. Others because they're getting paid more than them. Others because they're not being faithful and they've been cut with their hands in the cookie jar. And then so many others. So Mr. Lee, continue, please.
Okay. Whilst you were giving your narrative, you said something about man earning lower than the woman. That's why they have been undercut. Is that right? You said that?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Most of the times, it could be the man's assumption.
Oh, okay.
It could be the man's assumption that is it the reason because I am underpaid and she is overpaid above me. The reason I could say no, because you and the woman got in a loving relationship, not in a hate relationship.
That's right.
Before you come all together. And probably the woman's idea to learn, achieve something, and go ahead work-wise is due to her intelligence and how clever she is, school time, and still got that head above her shoulders to learn and use the brains up. Okay, maybe love compared two people to marry. The man is not above the woman's intelligence. Sometimes, vice versa, it happens that the man intelligence solves above the lady's intelligence. It does happen one way or the other. Like in tree, they say sika nifani etraha etraha. You understand?
In tree, was it then?
Sika enifani. Because you see the Chichinga man's knife. That's right. When he slaughters right through the meat, it cuts both sides. So what we're saying right here is it's not just the lady's kind of problem, but it does happen while the man is the bigger earner and the lady is the smaller earner. Sometimes most of women even sit at home and the man do all this shit because man want the lady to care for the kids when some other relationships, women need to go to work or work as men and still yes got kids in there And it is about the woman got double job to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because after going to hard days work, come home, need to fix the home, need to cook, need to fix the kids, prepare food for husband coming home, eat, and all is on the shoulders of this woman after a hard day's work. You understand what I'm saying? That's right. We need to take that into context. But if a man don't take this into context, say, your job is to be at home, serve me when I come, food is ready, another thing. It makes it a bit critical on behalf of the woman. She might not be complaining from the assassin, but suddenly, on and on and on, when things start getting into a role form of a momentum, she gonna start like having that kind of pain, which probably she cannot talk about in herself. You see, when transparency is between a man and a woman, they could talk about everything, which the man is not going to be the upper hand to say to a woman, no, come on, man. What are you saying? No, you need to give a woman that kind of pace of time. Woman need to give a man pace of time to listen. Listening is all the best kind of option that two partners have when they are into the kind of relationship. You understand? But let's hang this on the side. A man has gone, wife says no, right?
Yes.
Now, me, for one, there's a reason why Uchiahumana Amba.
Hey, Mr. Lee, how?
Yeah, because the Uchiahumana Amba, yesterday, bibidim. You understand?
Oh, Mr. Lee, you are killing me with the tree brothel. Hey, Kaku don't show. Mr. Lee, you're more warriors here.
Thank you, my bro. Thank you so much. Today it's gonna be fun.
I didn't want to say anything, but sitting in my one corner and just listening to you, I'm like, I better get on and just give Mr. Lee some fans. Oh, say, Mr. Lee.
Oh,
thank you. And it's good to have you today as well. As like
Mr. Lee, Pastor Samuel Okusu say another thing is when both parties disagree on home issues.
When both parties disagree on what issues?
Home issues.
Like
home issues.
They have other matters within the marital home.
No, when he says home issues, he need to be specific.
Yes,
he need to specify.
Come with a specific. You kind of generalize it.
We don't want generalizing here. Today we're going down the bottom of the river.
Specific, like
specifics.
You know, maybe an argument over money, argument over food, allowances, argument over doing a project back home, and or maybe friends.
Sister love. Yes. Sister love. I can't cuss him. Your baby. Your paya. Esibemabu.
Where is this noise coming from? I hear staticky.
You hear what?
Okay, it went off.
Okay. When a man and the wife walks down the road and something horrifying is coming in ahead of them, whose back does the woman run to?
The man.
Because she believes that's my soldier, that's my gladiator, that's the man who's going to save me out of any goddamn me. That is why. So, you see, most of men, we fail to understand that women, even though we are all...
Okay, Mr. Lee will come.
Hello,
back.
boss lady. Ajua, let me take it on here whilst Mr. Lee is off.
I was going to say there are some men and women run behind, they will push the woman down.
No.
Mr. Lee is coming back. Yeah, Mr. Lee, I wanted to chip something in here. many a times we the men we tend to forget about the women's needs as well. Right. It could be that the woman is also facing something that you don't know about. And
Bro. When you chip in when I'm talking, you will just going to be like in the masalachi where we all running the ABCD, Bawu, Jimu, Ewu, Iwu. We all shout. When I go halfway, then I will throw.
the feedback is from Mr. Lee's earpiece.
Your side is very staticky and you're going in and out.
It's from the earpiece.
No, my earpiece are cool. When you came in, this kind of noise started. When you take my position and I took your position, now a fool, you understand?
Hey, Mr. Lee.
Mr. Lee.
Mr. Lee.
What be you me dabre and I
Mr. Lee, you got kicked out. Mr. Lee, you got kicked out. I didn't kick you out.
Who kicked me out?
You got kicked out. I don't know how it happened.
But because you chipped in. I'm gonna say
Sorry,
the truth.
guys.
I'm gonna say the truth.
So, Mr. Lee, I understand where you're coming from, but it is the switch in the mood. Once you go out and come in, you go to the other position.
No, you don't come here to show me what I got to do. Because first come, first serve. I got invited before you came on. So you're not going to be the narrator right here.
I understand, Mr. Lee. Keep going.
Bro, ain't nobody going to kick me out on when I know damn.
Mr. Lee,
Yo.
what you said earlier, right? Brother Brian and I have some contribution to it. When you asked the question in terms of if a man and a woman going somewhere and they see something coming at them, which direction would the women run to? Normally, we will hide behind the men, but there are some men who will push the woman out of their way and take off. They're not going to allow the woman to use them as a shield.
Yeah, that's where I was coming in from.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I'm going practical.
Okay.
Then that man, from that day on, the woman need to understand that she don't have a keeper.
Oh, wow. Really?
Hey, let me tell you something, Sister Love. No matter how small, how thin a man is, if I love my woman and you coming to disturb my woman, hey, it is that's where the love and I'm gonna be a man with my goddamn balls and
Mr. Lee, take off your headset. Let me see if the noise will go. I don't know, but like it's really static.
Came on when Brother Brian came on.
Brother Brian is
yeah, that's noise to start. I was right where Brother Brian is. Now I think the CIA is working over me.
I think I'll join in again and see if Mr. Lee is having a point here.
I think it's gone now, right?
Yeah, this is the work of the CIA.
So Brother Brian brought the work of the CIA here.
Yeah. I blame Brother Brian too big time. Because I know Brother Brian is a troublemaker. Okay, do you hear the noise now?
Okay, talk a little bit more. Let me see.
I said, do you hear the noise, Sister Love?
No, now there's no noise, but I want you to talk more.
So when I was talking to you before, there wasn't any noise. Who brought the noise?
Actually, it's still here. It's still coming. When you speak more, it comes.
So is it coming now as I'm speaking to you right now? Is
it coming? Yeah.
Okay, so let me also jump out. So
Yeah,
Brother Brian
switch
comes.
switch position because today
I
I'm
don't know
enjoying some.
because this is the earpiece I use every time with you.
I
When
know. Can
let me
you
bring
take
in Brother Brian.
can you take out your headset and let me see if it will help? I'm not sure if it will
Take it out.
help. Okay. You
How about that?
okay. It sounds okay, but sometimes
How
when
about
you
that?
it sounds okay. Go out and come back.
It's still cracking.
Yeah.
It's still cracking. It's not a headset. So let me go and let Brother Brian come on.
Okay. And come back, come back, please.
Okay.
Okay, Brother Brian. So where did you want to make your point? Mr. Lee, he helps me carry. Woman of God, Pastor say welcome. Uh-huh. Patience will say welcome. Brother Brian, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
So the point you were trying to make earlier, can we go back to it or you lost your
Oh no,
train
I'm
of thought?
I'm not. I was trying to say that Mr. Lee was making a great point, but from my point of view,
Mm-hmm.
if men will also understand women as to what they go through, that will help.
Okay.
From the onset, maybe your wife was into having time with you every time, like whatever moment.
Okay.
But when a woman gives birth,
Mm-hmm.
when a woman starts to give birth, giving birth alone can control her sexual drive. It
That's
can
right.
cut her off.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing could be when maybe she's too busy with the house chores. She don't get help at the home. Maybe you the man, you go to work, you come home and you expect her to just come and lay there for you to do whatever you have to do. She
No.
may be too tired, so she cannot be there. And maybe both man and the woman may not be on the same page. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that is very important about sex. Also, when she feels pressured, and the pressure can come in so many forms.
That's right.
Right. It can come maybe not from the home per se, but from work, from bringing up children, and
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot. The uncertainties are there. Right. So men have to understand women, and even sometimes the kind of sex you, the man, and the woman are having, maybe it isn't good for her.
Yeah.
Right. So
The,
if a man understands what the woman goes through, that will help.
so
Right.
like that, like understanding the wife in
Exactly.
so many ways as a husband, like sometimes even position, right? How they position themselves, how comfortable the wife feels,
Hmm.
caressing her, like kissing her, because
Exactly.
we do have some men who do not know how to kiss. When they kiss a woman,
It's either
it
way.
feels
It's either
like
way. Some people are really green into the sex itself we're talking about. So if you're
when I'm
lucky,
there.
you meet your wife, your husband who is into it, and you are able to learn from it, that's a good thing. But somebody may not know how to come about it or come out to tell you, I don't know how to do this. So if you pay attention to your partner, that is when you are in motion doing whatever, you can tell
Mhm.
what is not coordinating, where the communication is not coming from. Then you
That's
help each other. You just don't keep going. You get it? And I'm not saying whatever Mr. Lee was saying it wasn't right,
right.
but I felt like there's this authority in there that
Mhm.
I'm the man. If that is how men are going to go all the time, women will also stand up for themselves and she'll tell you today, no, don't come close to me. I've had my period. Meanwhile, there's nothing. Right. That is one thing men have to pay attention to.
So let's go back to Sisaya Atobra's question. Why she refused him, right?
Yes.
why the wives, some of the wives are refusing the husband. Some of the husbands gave their some of the reasons that is coming up in their marital home. Some of them, the wives are now making more money than they are because of since the pandemic. Some of them have lost their job and they getting um, um, unemployment, right? And then
Mhm.
some of them they're not getting no unemployment money. So it's like only the woman is, is contributing to everything, right? And then some of them, they just basically saying that the woman turns them off because, like, when they make advances, sexual advances, the woman will say something that will turn it off. Which we know some men will do that to their wives, right? But most most of the most of the complaints came from men. That's why I put it in this context. And then you have some of them. You talk about body changes because when we as women we have children, our body changes. Sometimes we lose some of our uh, sensuality, right? We're not getting as aroused as prior to having children. We hit certain age, our sexual desire will go down, and sometimes it comes back up. Libido also,
Even menopause can affect the libido. It
yeah.
doesn't affect the whole
We
body.
have
It can
early
affect the
menopause.
libido.
We have early menopause, and
Mhm.
we have regular menopause. Like some of the early menopause, there's a lot of things that will like contribute to it, right? Sometimes,
Yeah.
stress and not eating well, all some of that can also contribute to it. Or maybe um sometimes, if we do know that some women will have an abortion, right? When you have an abortion and the doctor did not do a good job, they can, affect that. They can, because some of them may cut your womb instead of something else. I mean, I know someone, at least if I don't know many, I know one person who went through that and she has not been able to have children because of exactly that. She had an abortion and the person that did it did not even have the credential to do that, right? But because they want money, they went ahead and got it done. And now she can have children. She can never have children. So there's a lot of things that, play to face. Oh, Dr. Kinsley, I promote to saying, welcome. Hey, Umi Abe Mabaso. Swami Eje.
Hey, Chairman, you say, oh yeah, the Endra
Mhm.
boss lady program. So now, me so I saw monitor me or hobby san.
Yes, and I'm there. Sweetie thing. Uh-huh. So,
And the answer to Auntie Ya Atobra's question,
Brother
one of
Brian,
the
when I
the
was out
wives
there,
could be
he made a point. And that point
going
he
on.
made, he misunderstood because I'd never finished when he cut it. When
mm,
I said a woman and a man walk and a trouble comes in front of them, the woman runs behind the man, does not mean I'm veto powering the man to be the superpower in the home against or up above his wife, girlfriend, or his lady. You understand?
mhm,
What I was trying to imply is when that kind of refusal thing happens, being a man who have the balls to fight, stand for the woman, takes that punch on the chin, go back and come back again, ask Akosia, ask Ajua, ask Abduna, sit them down. That's where you brought about the time of dialogue. In a passionate way. When she says even no, you still have to persist. You understand? This is where I was coming to.
But it's not about like Brother Brian said, and you said, yeah, Mr. Lee, no, I never
No,
finished.
Mr. Lee, I didn't say me no yeah, you must say
Well,
you
see,
made
you
a
make some
great
good
point.
points.
You made a great point, but I felt there was some sort of authoritative
Yeah.
in
But
there.
how
Yeah,
how
that's
did
the
you
statement I
feel?
made.
Whereas I've never finished my kind of thing when you cut in.
Oh no,
And
you were talking. You were
no,
talking,
but
and
then when you say you feel authoritative, you see what my explanation where I was going in.
yes, now I
So
get it.
so
Now
when
I
you
get
use
it.
that
But
word authoritative, I was not even going closer to authoritative. I am a feminist. You understand? So being a man as I am, I always need a better man for our women because we men, the testosterone in us and as God created us, we need to cool down because it takes two things to spark the fire, and there ain't no fire without a smoke. So I leave it up to you. Keep on going on. I'm on the back now, so you go on.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lee, for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Brother Brian,
Thank
hold
you.
on. I have Sister Miracle here to come and contribute. Sister Miracle, I'm over there. Oh, me that's it. Oh, thank you. Boss, give me a second. Sister, I won't require me and I'm midwife. So, oh, Debbie, who can say I'm my friend boss lady back? Yeah, boss, my friend back. And sister, oh, Miracle. Yeah, more kwaba. That's it. Me say, yeah, me be normal say, to say, ọmọ refie, ọmọ brepa, esan say, ọmọ yiri numu binom, emma, ọmọ enji ọmọ ani wo, ọmọ mpemu, esan say bi a, eba ne kon ho na se oye nneoma bi a, ọbaa no eja ono nso beda fedefe ne ho na wakọ road a na ọbaa no eyi nasi ena bi nso wo honom a te se asem a ọbaa no beka akire no no aya na edin pa ye timi ma ne be ma ne jokojokojokojo afetama ọbaa no hia nneoma no na oya ensore na eno abeye edin fre ena obi nso wo honom a ọbaa no nim pa se be ma no make any advances but when hu se be ma no be bia enneoma se ne ekono say onim de be ma no hia no wayi nani ato baby sister yes you will cover and that's it oh respect no correct no correct Ampa. No correct. Oh my goodness, that's like a great point.
Yes. That's also say any Adobe woman and now you and now question on the internet idea practicing promise to say why not? We can work that out or some you
Brother Brian also on one money. Hey, Pietro is a pillowcase.
Yes, you come out to
Wow. And yes, grandma underwear.
And I say if you can see my bower.
Yes.
That's why
Yee, ready? Hey, and I tell me they are commenting. Oh dear Lord.
Ella only the audition the Ginicula Ella only the Osaka party to Muna or the Bunin from January to December.
Oh my gosh, that's nasty. Right here. Nadiana Frimukra. Wow. No correct. No correct. Papa, no. Doctor say Becca. No correct. You sister miracle man kwanza Mr. Lee say what can a mad ye na a man in swear. That's it, you know.
Notice changes now more burning. It is a first maybe 3 minutes later, baby. Then they were doing iron the fire to try to see how I had the fatal. Hey, what a plant from?
No, correct.
Because you get no better. Why I was so
wow.
Just a note. I had to pay a drop. So we didn't know the marking cloud. Just a note I had to pay a drop. Forget me not. You know I love you. Every weekend no one friend let's say thank you to mommy.
Brother Brian.
Job. So when you may be sad to motivate your band, but try so be notice no or baby up say you so well no problem and no a day it's say you call stages of menstruation, pregnancy, childbirth, menopause, can be a hormones is all over the place.
No correct.
It's going to be okay. I'm here for you. I love you. You are a superwoman. I can't do what you want.
The sweet talk, positive encouragement.
Yes. And it's who I know here. Without you, I'm nobody. Thank you so much for accepting me.
Wow.
I know I'm stubborn. You still love me. And my dear man is in Kitty. So now, so once in a while, I'm 3 months to 4 months. So now, so what's how you don't make a once in Peter. So and say, you know, you could baby dear. I actually flew me and one singlet in this cell. Now, so where you know,
yes, my man and the money. Now, Mamma, when you are not.
Oh, how it was and if you don't look at that. I didn't stop him. So to tell you, say, employees and you need that employee and no be alcohol. And Cobanis as well. Or by the animals, so that is so. Minyamikuna Medino. Or Bema so Lydia no one to put up. Minyamira Medino. But sir, by the Anna much they say, Casapoli or hope. Now, the good Yamoya Mona, or be at the upper peninsula, and an importer. It can be as we really hope.
I'm told.
Yes, oh, you know, would do when you're bad in the Bemet in the winning. Now, Cakas are patched them on one. Who said, to plan woman, it's even a young Debiason of Bar, Obadiah, and Debia from a down.
Oh, I saw we even to your cowgirl, Nibby.
Yes. The Bema knows why a cowgirl the ground, and you now do it in Beverly.
Ah, you are not doing it natural, no, if you have to one.
Yes, of course.
No cre. And chest out, no put one mano. Aha, no peja so kakra. Sa pepe. No crepa. Yee, what can some more? And maintaining good hygiene is very important for a man and man both sides. Because if you are band bit me a rejecting kuno and as a bear mano, it's a say when I'm canking. I see a hokankai. Mom. Oh, I love that one. I'll take that one. I'm Pat Moya Baku Honum. Baby sister Chris Cross, welcome. And San Marco second round. Don't qua. Sister, let me count.
My neighbor now is psychologist, and why?
No crap. What can some like great points you make? That's in your mean show. And today, BM now debate chat to okra. That's right. I said my doctor, you can see them.
Yes, but you know, all day,
no correct. Wow. Oh wow. Mhm.
We are not saying that every year, important, but once in a year, you don't know how somebody's job is difficult until you do it yourself.
That's right.
And, you appreciate it will be
amen to that. Thank you. Thank you. Yamin shall sister. Unim dear no above and beyond. That's Yamin. You're welcome. And no. And no cry enjoyment. Yes, in marriage will not. Yeah, worry and funny pen call heaven, but I need it when it here we are near my then here. I know they made back for heaven. Mm-hmm. Ooh, do tell. Hey. Oh my goodness. Who could be my with them and different moves.
Mami mrekwa. Yamin sure why.
Oh yes, I mean to say somehow already our real a dear part of our real. And dear, whichever way you want to do it, one of the most important components. And idea who here our real dear. And if I saw a woman when you have him. Sir, hey, and no way exercise in it also. Wow. Quickies. Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Sister Mrekwa, let me ask you something. Papa, those quickies, and who here, pa, and yet there be an say, and yet there be a sister, comfort, miracle, and him, no, Casan Sayaba. Now, sister Mrekwa, Mammy Musu Assam, on say, and money, a man, do a one no more. Outbringing, they were traumatized. Some of them were sexually assaulted. Some of them were sexually abused. Some of them were raped, and so many other things. You think that and also play part in some of the sexual dysfunction in their marital home. That's right.
Because trauma lead you to a psychological way effect and asset effect.
Yes.
To say a pastor will be anxiety, depression, and I'm bipolar, so many.
That's right.
Illness.
That's right.
Or anything before but at a point, let me
oh, like you were intimidated by his height.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I have to allow myself to be loved, to be cared for.
That's right. That's right.
had the end then necessity. Name of necessity. Would you bear man and paint? Would you my main farmer?
Wow. Inti ebimo no ede Emma omukun ediomo just to certify in Beman into send home bebo, send home more and find home because a dear enya dear bia or enjoy in one life because who sad you know as a positive effect and when a brabo.
BBC counseling.
No, I'm part.
Because me I said the classmate be out here record. Almost can say can I need to my yes I be a Marital. What can I want to want the see and as a result they miss anyone ordinary now.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. She's traumatized forever.
Yes. And I mean, you might be or not so 53 years in the home that and she said, me first, you know, make a test to why. Yeah, I mean, it didn't go. So 53 years and she said, in the home and she said, me who that's what about when you would take.
Hey! And you will be asking because it is as a what a wow. This can give to you. No crap because I know on the bay out.
On the bay, I'm sorry, after your catcher and selfish. And I also say, just a deal of the might be 1 minute and 30 seconds or better 2
Oh, sorry, I will say where your bema, Ubema seminal, and no any. I had a cocodru.
Yes.
Sister Belinda. We don't open up because he had players. No correct. I'm pa. But since I am say a society in send your kind, say obi awo osanin kwala brem ni cousin ni wofabi anase neighbor bi di no yebeka victimize ne yebeka so ya akora bone ono na obi I violating no taking the innocent no we make that person we make them like they are fault idea happen to them no instead say you better reprimand it penyimu na wadi insem hu ne insem fo no right eti no te say and I say wunyi te say Ghana for men dodo ahina na yire ka chen say I was raped and I say I bibia say obey receptive they're going to start looking at her in a different manner. Ampa anaso obey jaw. Yeah, because they are some. I mean, I don't know. I think about your society, community, there are a lot of great areas that because they are like traumatized. They have been victims and been victimized by their own family, friends, and people that they know, their workplaces. I mean, to say you have we are sexually assaulted because I mean I shared my story one time. My former workplace and I'm a juma. Me share juma for penny no one. I mean to say a drew baby no obusam say me pɛ some overtime Ghana ni wo pɛ sika de akoye de obwe ya wo siane enti no one day oka chem so metimi aba 2 to 3 hours early to start the shift. Me back to say nkola no mo ho no mo ma ye fin metimi ahase asia mo no ya which is fine with me. Enti me koye enti nkola ne ba ko de mi si nyoma ni wie ya I me dry wie ya me de call boy ni dem normally I am folding on tade no laundry room ho no ma but sada no de me de call boy ni dem ho nipa mienu na dadan mu we mpasi ha we mpasi ha enti me de ne nyoma ni kogu ne mpa ne so na me de ne hamper no laundry bin no AC from send emebobo egum nti onu aba no wabehihye egu ne draw ni me no na be ya adwuma ama no instead say wo be in and out of the room enti me bubo nyoma isa sister me dia me hu ya ne say I'm going down on the floor enti no I have to use my hands to brace myself. This guy tackled me. So when American football no send you obi kita ball na ye tackle no. He tackled me from behind and I hit the floor so hard. It me hit the floor no. And oh yes, so what turning me na eduma no ya omo kire wo ways of defending yourself TCI. And you know, before answer no be turning me over, no, I brought my knees up to my chest. And you know, all that me so no me nine and ne be man no be da so. Na akwai sene ni jack asoli e da me na ntemu na nya sumo. Sister, ejuma mo enya sem abonten so I'm talking about work ground. This guy, and then or permit also me man and fan coming and say, hey, do you know me? Sometimes so cry oh, Mrs. Sister. Na me yes and me pushy akwaya swatch me kind just as I don't know dear. Me young coupon na a social worker be a no wo honum na omo de clock in no abebo office ho na ebdanu so a me womu na watu ahye me so no opposite the office enti no what say obi bie pon no enti o te sa no sorry no sorry enti o sorry ye no sister ma chese enuoma mi bubo hamper edida baby enu an se me kwa na me wura inside no I was looking like a ghost. Me sweating like a pig. Ain't you know, my mini busa me say, I couldn't talk. I just took my car, I swipe out, grab my handbag and then my jacket and start walking up the hill to HR. No, me kwaya complain no. When him say na me new omo ye adwuma no because na me need the newest staff over there. Enti me na me chatwo. Enti no ono so ni other staff no omo ye close enti na be me say obo mama ne e koso say ya suspended, right? Because they have to do investigation and everything. Enti no to say after the me ba do omo mama 3 days off. Enti after 3 days na me be adwuma no. The workers, they were acting funny. I said, like, if you how Obi can't, I'm not sarcastically. Obi said, we're gonna have a newbies come here and disrupt our program and stuff like that. So one of them, they kept saying that, and I make a chance among China here. My man, Jumemu has say ofui, and I said nipa fumbi. Eden who be babe coming and ya make it can't be trauma pa sister me mom who say you yeah and I make a trauma say bia omo no any sa papa na da me no ma adwuma ha say me ni obi be da because me nya adwuma wo krom ha say me sha say adwuma when na me wo 18 ko 19 me papa some o ka kire me say me kwa adwuma mu a I should not get involved with someone at work, because it's a relationship now working out. It can create a lot of unsafe environment. Intimation no metie and a nipa bi wan so ane ne ye adwuma woni ne ye free onyo tipen no ne wo be kasa rough no ne ade ntino sad no I don't like say you be amene ne ye see ye adwuma with different departments are fine, but the same building, because oma na omo ho no me che na finding out say bi mu wo ho ana omo flex omo di omo ho enti I guess say na se sa na mo ye ku a na my I like to be part of it. Now this guy what they by force, so sister, what they by force will be me. Ain't you know to say na social worker no and a me witness. Busa no, friend no busa, no man can what happened, but busa says this day and that day. Me catch almost say me call inside the office me call farm and you mo busa masem men fino into omu busa no me omu busa no sada no hu me no what was my demeanor so and you know she described my demeanor. She was like, she looks more like she has seen a ghost and she was sweaty. She described Mrs. Sister, this guy was on me for sometimes I send it to her. It could be just a second, but you feel like it's forever. I was missing me sweaty and number fusu sweaty that day because I had to use all my might. So nankanya me nanu na me de ba asura me na me she jeans inti anya de ankobe any other all diseases ni twa jeans ni no akọ inside. And you know, to say like it traumatized me. I mean, I never told my parents. Me mama was when to say what. And you know, I mean to say. I know, right? But I do man on many obi kasai. They helped me process it, and they gave me time to be off. I think it's not. Person may sue almost sometimes na me who American system no yen kan any dia party anka student miss you anka meye enti no omu yi nipa nadi because omu hu say oyobi a te say wanya sa de na anka me ma me kantin kanya sa social worker na or walking up. I don't know what would have happened, to tell you the truth, because he's a very strong man. Oyobia, he works out and everything, you know, to say, or touche me swat to say out of nowhere. And you know, free one, say me quite jumano, can you be some say me person me over time? I miss no, thank you. Nipa or honum lebia me stay later. Say a staff or honor me stay late. Yeah, I would do that, but to say I wouldn't stay, I wouldn't come early just to be with only one person in the building. You know, if you wanna me need another person. I never went anywhere alone since then because he taught me a lesson to not be in places by myself with a man or even with a woman, because and then nowadays you don't know who is who. You know, I just don't want anybody saying something and accusing me of anything or whatever. And you know, I always want to make sure say me were witnesses somewhere. Say many penny for nama many apple nam. And you know, yeah, and you know to say I got the help that I need. What's it? I got the help I need. Omo mame nipa different people are many omo kasa process BBAC. There were some things na me call complain no man. I didn't even realize it happened. Say a couple days, weeks later, months later, no, I started having flashback. It's not to say I say me nante baby na say bia obi coming from behind me, not tapping me shoulder. metimi so nipa ne nsa chim ne nsa no nti no he no enkra na me niom ye adwuma no me catch rom say they shouldn't approach me from behind because it's all nsa come abeti say from behind me so nsa no me chim no na ma 10
Yes, yeah, thank Kwando by force.
me don't catch rom. Yes, it like I just made me my omo bear me no and then cry me who say never come from from behind. If you want to approach me, I have to come in front of me because I tell them that I have a reflex. Back one time or 10 me and I did that to him and then he was like, you hurting me. I was like, I told you guys because I thought someone is attacking me. Don't do that. Yeah. That's it. But a man in yasa a man in the help that they need. And a man they were sexually assaulted, but they ended up being raped, you know? And to say like it's different for everybody. What some of the women what traumas they're carrying, what they have gone through and everything, I think I almost say people who has been traumatized, they tend to like go to feel that almost blanco for a lot. But when your community, society, no more my educated, it's either as psychology, nursing, doctor, like a juma, a boa people, so and like sometimes I think that men send your kind yes not that but last time I make a sad story where say one of my best friend who what was me question be it shocked me to today. As someone was me say what was I wearing? And I'm saying, what? How, like, are you serious? Me, yes, I maybe Sanano cutting me off. Well, he rudely cut me off and spoke his mind about something else, and then cutting me off or na busa one of the guests no was no person make you point or no son na my sister back no host sister Cecilia. Me text sister Cecilia say, I still have not, I'm not done talking. And say, mommy making me pointer. I can leave the program because as someone who say, I have to give him an answer. Because Atadia Michelle has nothing to do with this idiot's action. Because of his lack of control and because of his lack of discipline, it wasn't my fault that he attacked me. Like I had nothing. I did not encourage him. I did not talk to him sexually. I was not teasing him in any way. So I told him, I was like, so I said to him, I was like, first of all, even if I went there butt naked, nobody have the right to put their hands on me. So whatever clothes I was wearing, I did not ask for him to tap. I mean, to say the way this guy tackled me on the ground, if I didn't use my hand, and committee crab if you want my pass it out. So some people they speak out of terms, and then for him to speak like that, and then I'm realizing that sometimes there are people that speaks intelligently, but they dumbass inside. Yeah. No, correct. I'm so proud of you, really. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. Oh, that's a shame. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A serious matter. And you know, a man, your man, no, if you have mo yere nom to say omu reject him, and I say omu nim dia open so omu ma omu fa just omu few cry obi wo no ma emotionally, psychologically, mentally, they're going through a whole lot. They've been victim of something. They have been traumatized. They did not get the help. I mean, I'm thankful because Jumana na me before the me say no. A training TCI century model. And you know, to say they teach you a lot of coping skills and when you go through some traumatized events and you can get yourself out of it, interacting with people, and also don't become a victim of anything. You have to get yourself out of the victimization. It was really helpful for me. And like when I didn't have to go to counseling, but it's talking to some social workers, just having normal conversation, like, how do I feel? Because papa and also normal processing with me for like almost 4 months. Now every month and I say every 2 weeks. So I'm checking in with me, say, how do I feel? Because no meaning say my phone be retaliate. And I say be say and I'm mesuni na dia and I'm ye group intervention and social workers ne buy explaining say nipa asumasi ni ho no mu biem esan say woye a BB to a BB towards Mr. Milia, right? And he shouldn't have done it. So to deflect the children from blaming me, say and I'm so because I didn't do anything, or no na or yeah me baby. And they have to be front and let them know, say he made the poor choices, and his poor choices caused him to lose his job. And I mean, free one no, yeah, free one baby me Juma was courage, for 10 years. And like, and I had most of the kids were like very respectfully. And Kolani people had new one back, not old one. They said, don't mess with this woman because when she tells you this, she's gonna follow through. And teacher said, "Sam Kolani, enemy from the past. It is say, yeah, and Kolani be have a tantrum. Almost say when Miss Amelia said this, that's what's gonna happen. But if you say, who so yeah, will hold you accountable. And I will give them choices. And then if I give you a choice, because if you are me catching says, okay, so I make me amount 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes to cry. When you are done crying, then we can talk about what caused you to cry. And I said, you here. So, main rush you. Nti anasa mitimi ka chom sese wo pese wo butu bibia yenkwa abonten na dua na si ho no wobetimi abutu dua no onka out ba meme na de me mutu me nan nti to say most definitely. And to say sometimes there could be a lot of factors going through some women's mind, or everything, because sometimes when your mind is not right, it affects your body. It affects every part of your body. Understanding now. Muntimi Emma, I mean the way I may enjoy sex, The way I enjoy. That's right. No, correct. No, correct. Yeah. Poor. You guys become emotionally connected.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Payment on Monday. It was Friday. It's Monday. As I say, you bet you and I said, whatever I ask them, they will take number take. Says, make the bed in this one. I'm going to put it in frame. I'm not a power yard out. Just a hop up now, maybe.
Wow.
See, let's say 2:30. 2:30, and then standing now. And one of these I say, hey, it's the ever to you was our 10 count the baby.
Oh. And we are the back case if I will pine her grand watching. This is I might keep you on long enough today. But me dancing super so what mommy your listening ears.
Yes, psychologist back up it. Sure.
I know, right? That's in Samirikua. Mommy friend boss lady. I hope so on night. Now where you part one, into your part two, and you bet and that the end and the part no. But because I say yeah, part two, no, we're going to focus on and you to prevent too many of these instances happening. Your man bet me up one man and a man bet me up boy and man and no back part two side. What did you
send? Me, I'm send a request, don't worry.
Brother Brian, I swear we see you now. Bye, I mean, sure, I'm that. Boss lady, Mama was saying, share, and she was me for why. Brother Brian, Dr. Kingsley can send me what I say. I want to just validate it. Or say, don't you think marriage is a school in which both the husband and the wife have to learn from each other and do accommodations for each other for the marriage to grow from strength to strength? Most definitely.
Exactly. That's what we have to do.
Yeah, we just
and
need to.
He rightly put it. God bless him.
Most definitely so. And then Dr. Kingston, Mrs. Assam will say, or see, unfortunately, some people don't have empathy. Your friend who asks you that insensitive question has no empathy and failed to put her or himself into your shoes at that time. I'm telling you because, I was dumbfounded when he asked that question because I have such great respect for that person. And then when they ask me that question, I have to double back and think twice. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know this person does not have the intelligence that I thought they did. They just a follower because you know how some people talk in certain way because they're listening to other people and they picking up points from those other people. And when they put theirs together, you may think that, they got it, but they have no idea because, his question hurt me the most than what happened to me.
Exactly.
I was like, huh? Like, are you seriously kidding me?
So I say, or the memories not back. Because the firm no narrative audio la no. I hate no. And I Dr. Mr. Jokinsley, yeah, I put in one putting himself in your shoes at that moment. And that's what we have to do. So Obi can't so much row and foul hono. Don't say near Bemani Pano, I yes so tensed. Ube Purano more. If you are someone said he told no. What me I got that courage and I walk and so can say be on chain. Obi onipa no so be sua bibi efrim but at that moment no yes no was up like wa bra okra the more
because boss lady yes what didn't insure me who ya na won swear you dance this time me ku aba na say me busa no some point as be ntino we dey sorry say mama wa twen ache no correct. Wow, thank you. I mean, Brother Brian, it will jingle nearby, of course.
also me here jingle man.
Yes.
Oh mine catch a boss lady someone you're worried I have this in mind that time na
No
yeah
worry. He already has
someone you're
that
worried
in mind. Yeah, Joseph. That's it. I know, boss. Yeah. Oh, but that be a whole better on trophy. It's okay, boss lady. Okay, boss is say we are more. What's it? Ah, boss of our copper. About one in the original.
boss kina boss kina
no correct. And then you cry, question more to me. You cry, the question more to more. We don't care. And no correct. Yeah, that's a boss. And I mean, sure, why? Boss is a name you may and Pemon Commodie over Basso me boa. Okay, see, be she our honor.
yeah for like in my pastor yeah ba mama why
Yeah, that's a boss.
boss bye bye
Bye, boss. Brother Brian, and to
yes
take
mama
over to say, baby, our person will tackle.
mame adofo aka bebre me ka se me ka kora mesa akomechi asense sisi nsem mo abi but ni nyina ne se
Dr. Kingsley, the answer no
me
what
pacho yeah
okay, see, Dr. Joe Kingsley said interventions and accommodations are the best tools which can be used to improve the sexual responsibility in marriages. The couple always have their individual weaknesses and strengths in sex due to previous experiences and orientations. Bam. The strengths must be used positively to help each other to overcome their weaknesses. And they clap for you.
Papa no he's full of wisdom
For you. What? Oh, Brother Ryan Black Jesus. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Apomu et is saying, Dr. Kingsley, bravo, bravo,
Shano, we're putting it right putting it right
We're put to one of my similar to one of the things I had to say before I close off today. Into no wakasa maminti and to say, you didn't know be because person can on say me ya na our because me person and now na mafo aba omo beba akodi omo ho yeah part of our year
Exactly.
That's why the topic was about our reform, because me per se, we can say na sister was say, and no, I'm talking about our reform ma. Our reform ma o. Me can say a ma, because I'm not generalizing it. Our reform ma, brother Brian. Number one, right? They reject their husband's desires. Mrs. Akitwa say, meaning you know what your husband wants, and the wife refuse to oblige, right? Or the husband makes advances, meaning your husband is making moves, sexual advances to initiate the act of having sex, and the wife rejects him. And you know, brother Brian, Mr. And also be Mr. Lee Patterson, brother Brian, sister Mreku, and a boss lady, na men so yaki can same be, and you may be standing out your maintaining proper hygiene, because when you lack of good hygiene, and to me also say we the bed reject too, because we a bear man eja where you would three corners. And one no more 3 corners near someone who triangle no or more to and now I say because the man nso no movie wɔ hɔ a mo testicles no mo hwa no nkroni na ɛwɔ hɔ na ebi mu nyi anim sɛ nkroni kura wɔ hɔ wɔnyi ɔkɔ baabi so na wan pepa ne ho yi a na abehu ayi ne nneɛma na efiri ne yamu ne waist ni bi akɔtale aseɛ hɔ no mo ɔhyɛ ne sporter na sɛ ɔhyɛ na ayi a ɔte wo ho a na ɛho kankankan mmaa no nso bi no to say on ni na se woni munim say pubic hair lies is white. So when you see some white stuff on your pubic hair, na men ka say mi nyadwon ebi wo ho no ma na yedue enti no eni ye hu ni wo gru mu ase ho no mu ye aha because ehwia nneoma enya turning off so completely enti brother Brian maintaining good hygiene. Don't be superior. You know, see a say one day, so that right, and you know, and then my baby. Yeah, there's also not.
Yo, and I said, I'm a kind of said of work can be bring to me. So maybe I made a try to want to say, meaning no a communication. Communication. Said ya now ukunu sister ketwa kunu never say ukunu ketwa.
Yeah.
All kind of say o you why husband make advances na oba no so obi wo ho no ma ohia say obe starting like a car. Who's a car? Into me into car. It's no man where you have to start it. Exactly.
That's what Sanko be.
Yes. Into no obi wo ho no ma and mane nya wo say o tro sign the ball wall no ma we read what here say. Obi wo you have to explain into details. And sign and no pa no atom. Oh, into no me adofo aka bebre no me dey try to say yeah communication in the home so enye adwuma. So the American men is a communication anymore. The abe be our own wine, a bit backfire at you. Even Uguswa o yena when you are now wokoba say uncommunicate here. The bedroom baby no be was a bear man who bet to me as no ban no emma. It is a to me a communicate now who be a leveler who can for no now buana. Say yen be Augustu yen put never happen now. Then next time on. Because we communicate to so baby to bet me and Mr. Joe here we have to accommodate each other. Right, we have to accommodate each other. Now this accommodation I can say a dime walk on accommodate is a brother in your heart you have to accommodate each other in your brains, even in your thinking, daily thinkings. What are you thinking about your partner? Oh, if you out here, dream no, say what's up? Obia bizarre questions. What's sending a message or WhatsApp? I need me Marital, me Menno. And then just say, yes, a saying, like, put it in a funny way.
Underwear color brand I show in there.
Me pay BBI and I'm a wash from my wife for what I no, so I just so. At that one, just not just saying,
And then say
we had there, you know, like, you're seeing Yama Bibri, you are like certain, sometimes, you know, and you say a counseling, yeah, dear, yin, a way I feel. Now, got to be any my dear, what catch them, and no, side the baby help because all problem, and no, or no, a fly on. What do I say? You know, make me, like I say, yen share dear with your feet. Yen say, and ne, so we you and now when you the response, send your previously, no, na, bisa who said the end, our enemy quackers are not can be say, eh, because any pan and yet emotionally connected to you.
That's right.
You know, you are hitting on like a dead end. As a car, what drive a car and not could do baby on to me could be. The end was say, Dano. Oh, yeah, I just said, still, we drive it through that zone. I walk up. Oh, you know, say, you be communicate, now you be share the answer. A be boy, because our real enemy, Dr. Joe Kisley, Yakayam, a institutional, a moon was say you share.
We have to build and ourselves.
And in the daily basis, on the daily basis, no, Ube say, we are a boy, now we are boy, but Baku, you're not me expect if you back on what it won't work. And now, body hygiene. Everything have to come together to sustain what is going on. You know, I had a medimanu because yeah, the work and
I know, right? And that yet, and come on, I had the rough by the features here. We
say be more
than 10 minutes.
Me pacho me ka obi mfa pass permun komodie link ni send the pastor ya ba mama.
Oh, me the best send
because actually the be here sermon or the be preaching.
Mate, brother Brian, that's a pan to say on our class so train.
Oh,
you know,
who are there many problems.
That's it. A pastor, Esther, Memo Aquaba, what Chaya, Gronny Babu, nothing I over. Oh, me, sorry, and the man.
Pastor Esther, may you worry now, you are and come on, they say, yes,
there you, and then dear me see me because Nipa me no be hwɛ me a ɔmo me enu no ɔmo si me ntimi nyɛ ɛnɛ deɛ 2 hours kan ni yɛ free so enti pastor Esther me ma wo 5 minutes yɛ mo akɔ aba let's take here time
K man shut down and we have a boy jingle why
Amen.
It's also about young Christian women. You who say sex no. Say you fast and you so you more you busy you your consum.
Hey.
Don't worry. Yes. Yeah, a lot of people do that. And I also my baby now most of them even your more spiritual than their partners, right?
That's right.
And you know almost the spirituality what warrior when you would be so worried. When you knows. It is sex no. As 1 Corinthians 7 says no. It must be agreed. So who your pastor now? You need to seek permission from your husband. When this class is say anything happens to you. In the process, not a woman in me. Not look so much your husband. It is not the same.
No,
and a lot of Christian women almost fighting with that. And I am fasting. I be so many. I am on some. And I am on some episodes to me.
Wow.
The end of the day, or being a spiritual exercise, maybe we're not the home agree. When we say a lot of these things that people don't understand, or people say beyond percent, or people are spiritual, and that's something. This is not the point. Or say with consent, and so with consent, then if I'm on the consent, now we are, my dear, and you're open, and yet it's not the same. Dan say obey you fasting the baby na so open up about then obey. And answer wo be man so obey you fasting the baby now we ra about na o fear this show boy and as obey. It's best the force say me pa mo so mo ko no mo go read the scripture the bio. First Corinthians chapter 7. Normal you as or worry for because a lot of Christian women because of this little understanding. This way, if you say we are fasting now, we so we and that's all your concern. It is not so deep and or your or your one that you say now the end of the day we're changing the mind. And not just saying I mean you won't Bible. And not just say, oh yeah, you are the devil. Well, why worry? So there's no devil, in this. Let us also be mindful of that. Amen.
Amen. What a wow. Wakasa less than 5 minutes. Hey. Pastor, and next Friday, I made the link, Miss Brass, and I'm the link, bro. And I don't know what I was thinking, but I apologize. It's a man who him. Jimmy Dawson, so the Christian part, and then swabba movie because a man who the brave, you start, the
Oh yes,
yeah.
A lot. And as I walk on once, am I right? And confront yes, all say I'm sorry, you can't see your fasting, all right?
Yeah.
Common sense, who couldn't find, if you couldn't find, or man, that's all you didn't find. We're back in the process of the church fasting.
No, correct.
Sorry, maybe I'll see if I can't just say, who couldn't find, your husband needs you, your common sense, you have to apply wisdom. And not just a one, yeah, so for some, you'll be my leader. You have to, you have to do what you're supposed to do because why worry?
No, correct.
A lot of people, a lot of Christian business say, and I'm person by spiritual, and I'm person by poor baby, and as we're not just say, they're not just a woman. We get, some of these things, no, we get it all wrong. Or do our catch and I'm the or buy one chain, I mean to give a fasting, yeah. All your fasting 30 days, you want your husband to wait, and you're possible. Wife and Benny, it's not possible. Then I will buy a year fasting, and I said, will you want when you say, yeah, sorry, right? Yeah, weekly, or monthly program. It's also because I get in here, make sure that you put your home in order. But if you want my one year, now we go on fire, and we will go on fire, we now home and break. Now for some another fasting. So what is the point of that? Do the right thing. That's your baby, my dear.
Matimida for pastor, Yami Shroud. Okay, bye. Okay, and to say today we have learned a whole lot. The topic today was why do some wives reject their husband's sexual desire in their marital bed? We talk about, it could be different factors, they may have different factors playing a big role in it. Emotional stress, physical stress, psychological stress, mental stress, when sister comfort merkua and so can also, cause a lot of the sexual dysfunctionalness, right? You can have some women who will be psychologically, they will have a breakdown. There are more, moreover, there are some that will kind of like, may not have a clear understanding as to what is happening to their body. Brother Brian spoke about women, when we start having children, our body goes through a lot of different type of changes that can also play part in it. It can relate to stress also with the sex. Lack of affection or lack of emotional disconnection. Sister Wumrikwa spoke about that also. Money issues, when one is making more money than the other, can also play part. Selfish husbands syndromes. Okay, selfish women can play part. Loss of sexual desires, weight gain, which at times can cause them to lose sexuality. I spoke to my baby sister Crisscross Mensa, and she made note of that weight gain can also play part, and in which she's 110%. Body and mind are not in tune, because if I'm going to have sex with my husband, and I'm still thinking about a piece of cake or something else, now, no matter what my husband does, I'm not going to be able to have any orgasm because my mind, even though my body is physically there with him, my mind is elsewhere. And then, so lack of communication, that also play a major big part. So like, we're going to talk next Friday by God's grace. We're going to talk more about, some of the things that affect some of the things that affect wives, wife to reject their husband, and also um, what are some of the things that we can do to deal with the rejection in our marital homes. There are a lot of coping skills tools that we are capable of building into our relationship, into our marriages. But some of us, we are so blinded with listening, doing follow, making excuses, giving reasons, not taking time, exercising patience, and being able to, like, take time to learn things. Because if you don't know something and you learn it for 21 days, it becomes a norm for you. So we need to start practicing. So I'm going to conclude with Dr. Kinsley's comment. He says it's true. Communication is the key to any good relationship. Our Creator exhibited that key in the Garden of Eden. Every morning, He moved in the garden to communicate with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve hid themselves from God, running away from communicating with their Creator when they did the wrong. So when we most likely don't do right things, we tend to like shy away from having to deal with things that we have done wrong or things that we're not good at. Some of us will reflect our wrongdoing on our partners because at times it's likely possible some of our men complaining that their wives are rejecting them, they're the one rejecting their wives based on their actions and behavior. So we just need to be mindful and assess ourselves and our lives. So part two, we're going to go into the solutions. Today, we talk about some of the things that creating that. Part two, we're going to start with maybe half an hour to 45 minutes to talk about more of the things that can play a major part in the rejection. And then the an hour and the 25 minutes, we will use it to give solutions to better ourselves because we are capable of building ourselves up and learning new things to spice up our marriages and our life overall. But effective communication is the key. We have to learn how to sweet talk and sweet talk te sɛ kasapa ne kasade. Nti no, mede mu bɛsi ha ɛnɛ, meda obiara ase sɛ mutumi nya mmerɛ ɛba ne yɛbɛ abɛdi nkɔmmɔ. Yɛbɛtia Mr. Lee Patterson, meda ase, Nyame nhyira wo. Brother Brian Frimpong, wo nso Nyankopɔn nhyira wo. Sister Comfort Mmereku name also meda ase. Dog. And then boss lady, Pope and Pastor Esther. Nyame yɛ adom a yɛbɛhyia next week. Ochina Nyampa, Ochina Saturday, moon joining us with Pastor Samuel Okoso. Ochina yɛbɛba so live 4 p.m. US Eastern Time. May yes Samuel adeɛ nti no mentimi mba 3 o'clock no, maybe 3 o'clock nti no, we will come at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Until you guys join us, what do? Nyame enka mo ho. Na besa ehye bia na de mentimi mbɔ ndwom. Why? You know. Bye guys for the time being. One love to you guys. So more share, yeah. We invited friends. More like it, more love it. Mamudia Fachemi and Yeboapai. If I did not mention your name, please forgive me. It's not intentional. Today I have like a lot happening, so I kind of not did a lot of things that I normally do. Yeah, forgive me for today. All right. I see you guys tomorrow afternoon, US Eastern Time at 4, and then next Saturday we'll do part 2 of this. Bye.